Fight!
Alright, so what's going on, guys? T-Dub back on the mic once again, and today we're back with another episode of Was It Butter Smoove? And today we're going to be talking about Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2, going in order following my last one from Budokai 1. Now let's get straight into this. Now, following up in the Budokai series is the second installment with Budokai 2, and first let's go ahead and talk about that story. Now, Budokai 2 does not follow the traditional Dragon Ball story told in the games usually. Budokai 2 uses a how do I put this, board game, pretty much type style, to move around and progress through the story. Now, the story is split up into the different sagas, the Saiyan saga, the Frieza saga, the Majin Buu, the Cell saga, all of that stuff, but with their own twist to it. So, like, for example, in the Majin Buu saga, while trying to stop the revival of Buu, yeah, you gotta fight Majin Vegeta and Deborah, but you might have to fight Majin Frieza, Majin Cell thrown in there. Buu might absorb Vegeta, Buu might absorb Cell, Buu might absorb Frieza, Buu might absorb Gotenks, Buu might absorb Piccolo. You can jump in there in the Saiyan saga with Kid Trunks or Kid Goten. They don't have any effect on the story. In fact, they have no story dialogue whatsoever. But if you want to play as them, you can play as them. And while most people really don't like this approach, I love it. I can play with my favorite characters at any time and get through the story really quickly. So if I want to play with Ultimate Gohan in the freaking Frieza saga, I can fucking do it. If I want to fight Frieza with Goten or Trunks, I can fucking do it in the story mode. While it might not have any effect on the story, I'm still doing it in the quote-unquote story mode. And I think Frieza actually does mention, though, that Goten does look like Goku. I could be wrong about that, but even still, even if he doesn't, like I said, I can play with them in the story mode and do those what if battles. Like, what if Super Saiyan Goten or Super Saiyan Trunks actually did go against Frieza? Are they as strong as Frieza, or are they weaker? Or are they even stronger? I can do those what if battles within the story. They even throw in a pre-Frieza saga type thing where you fight Captain Ginyu and Frieza on Earth instead of actually on planet Namek, and people are like, oh my god, why can I play as Gohan in the Saiyan saga? Why are they throwing this extra arc in where it has no effect on the story? Because they're Demps, and Demps excels at throwing in what ifs, and this is a what if type of story that I really like, because it really lets you do whatever you want, whenever you want. It still tells the basic Dragon Ball story, but it goes out of its way to create its own story in a sense, and I really like this story mode. In fact, I've played through Budokai 2's story mode probably more times than I played through the entirety of Budokai 3's, mostly because it's shorter, but at the same time there's so much to go back and collect with the Dragon Balls and all that stuff, and it's just fun to play through. Like, I feel like I'm the only person that really accepts and enjoys Budokai 2, and just because the fans don't love it as much as the other two doesn't mean that it should have been taken out of the Budokai HD collection. I mean, people are like, oh, it's cause it doesn't add anything. Budokai 1 has the story mode with the cutscenes, Budokai 3 has the good gameplay. Who the fuck cares? Budokai 2 is part of the Budokai series and should have been in there. So should have Infinite World, but hey, we're not gonna talk about that. At least Budokai 2, if they were just going off the regular Budokai named series, Budokai 2 also should have been in that collection. But that's besides the point. Basically, I love the story. Now, let's move on to the gameplay. Now, the gameplay is a huge step up. Not a huge step up, but a pretty decent step up from the first game. I can go back and play Budokai 2. While it's not as fluid, not as fast, not as, free in a sense as Budokai 3, it is still a game that I can actually go back and play from time to time. Budokai 1, I cannot do that. If I play Budokai 1, it feels so old to me, and they at least made Budokai 2 feel more recent in some sense. Budokai 3 is fine, but Budokai 2 was getting there, and it was the gameplay wise, it was great. They added a lot of characters to the character roster, each with their own unique combos. The combos are more the style that they are in Budokai 3, so I guess Budokai 3 just expanded upon Budokai 2's, but it's like they really went out of the realm of Budokai 1's combat system. They really improved it. It's faster, it's more fluid, it's easier to cancel. They added a lot in terms of how you actually perform moves. You can actually perform moves by just flicking the stick and pressing the key button. Now I know we're all so used to that in the Budokai series, but that actually was not in Budokai 1. They did not add that feature until Budokai 3. I meant Budokai 2. Wow, Budokai 3. You can fly up in the air on your own now in Budokai 2. I think that's in Budokai 2. I know you can fly up in there and have air battles, but I'm pretty sure they introduced it in Budokai 2 and then just kept it for Budokai 3. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that's what they did do. So I'm pretty sure they introduced the flying on your own in Budokai 2. The beam clashes to me are more epic in Budokai 2. You know, just the overall feel of the game. The graphics took a huge step up. Like, they're under Budokai 3's for sure, but they're like, if Budokai 3's was the final finished product, Budokai 2 is the beta, like it, and then Budokai 1 is the alpha, like pre-stages. Like, they took the art style and the Budokai 3 cell shading, cartoony more look instead of the 3D, like heavy 3D stuff that they tried to do with Budokai 1, and it looks great. It holds up, not as okay. Sorry about that for the people that are watching the video. It's a cut there, but anyways, like I was saying, yeah, the combat is just better. They introduced that thing where you know, in Infinite World, in order to do stuff like special beam cannon or any other kind of move that isn't a ultimate, you know, you just what's it called? You just press input command like up and the key button, and yeah, they introduced that in Budokai 2. It's just a lot of stuff that they introduced that really made the combat overall better than its previous counterpoint in Budokai 1, which I like. That's what a sequel should do. It should build off of the flaws in the first game, and Budokai 2 definitely did that. Speaking of the flaws in the first game, the shop is still the way it is. The Dragon Balls are better to collect. You collect them in the story mode. You actually have a Dragon Radar in the story mode, and if you land on the specific spot in the board that the Dragon Ball is at, you press the X button, or I think the triangle button on PS2, in order to dig right there, get the Dragon Ball, and boom, it's yours. And you continue on with the story. Once you end the story with all 7 Dragon Balls, you make your wish. There's no looking for it randomly in the shop, none of that kind of stuff. Now, it's still kind of tedious, but it's way better than having to go in and out the shop in order to look for a Dragon Ball in Budokai 1. Especially, you had to spend Zenny, and you had to grind up the tournaments in order to go spend that Zenny. It's like, that was just annoying, you know what I'm saying? It was just annoying. So yeah, thank God they actually fixed that. The shop is still RNG based. It's like that for the entire series, so that problem isn't going anywhere. They really didn't do anything to make it any better. It's still the same shit. They actually did introduce something that I did like. The tournaments are still there. They have the Cell Game tournament. You know, I think that was in Budokai 1 as well. It's the Cell Game tournament where you can use fusion characters and stuff, and you can use certain items that you couldn't use in the original tournament mode to help yourself out. And they actually added in an extra game mode. Now, if you guys remember, I said besides grinding up the tournaments and going in the story mode, what else can you do in Budokai 1 besides free battle? They actually added something in, and this was really good. And I think I can't decide whether I like Dragon Arena, Barbity's, damn, I messed up both of those, Dragon Arena or Barbity's Spaceship in Budokai 2. Barbity's Spaceship in Budokai 2, and it adds some really fun things to do. Like, there's this one where you can you keep bouncing Ki Blast back and forth until time runs out, and the more you get, the more Kiwi you get, which is Barbity's Spaceship's energy meter. And once you get to a certain energy, that's when you unlock the different forms of Boo. Instead of having to unlock them through the story mode, you unlock them that way. There's a Ki Blasting, like I said, and that really, the thing about these mini games is they actually improve your skill at the game. That makes you better at timing. Like, it gives you a reason to want to go in there and get better at your timing in blocking and in deflecting things. There's one where you have to hit someone as many times as you can while they're constantly blocking and running away and stuff. There's one where I think you just pretty much fight as many opponents as you can until they die. It's like a survival mode. You do that and stuff, and it's just a lot of fun in there. Like, Barbity's Spaceship is the best thing that they added into Budokai 2. Like, Barbity's Spaceship is a buttload of fun, and it actually makes you better at the game. The survival mode type thing helps you learn how to fight better and how to conserve your energy and your health. The deflecting minigame teaches you how to get your timing right. The other minigames, you know, they help you out with defensive maneuvers. It's like maneuvers, my bad. I can't talk today, but it's like, it's a mini game type place, but at the same time it really helps you improve your skill in the game, and that's what I really like about it. Other than that, the soundtrack is great. Like I said, the graphics are great, the gameplay is great. Overall, I would say that Budokai 2 is definitely a great addition in the Budokai series, and it really pushed it to where, and set the standard to where Budokai 3 could be the amazing game that it is. So you know I'm gonna say that Budokai 2 is definitely where people like me, where they put it on the pedestal and say it is a great Dragon Ball Z game. Some people may put it down. I think Budokai 2 is heavily underrated. I think Budokai 2 is great, and in some ways, like I said, the way that Barbity's Spaceship you know, actually helps you get better at the game. In some factors, it just takes the cake, you know, as being a great Dragon Ball Z game, and is way better than Budokai 1 in my opinion. I will go back to Budokai 2 instead of Budokai 1 any day. And that's not me bashing Budokai 1, because Budokai 1 is a good game. It's a good foundation, but does it hold up today? Not really. If you can get past the sort of stiff gameplay in Budokai 2, you definitely get used to it, and it definitely gets real fun once you get used to it. So I would recommend Budokai 2 to anyone looking to go get it or something, but I definitely think that Budokai 2 is butter smooth. Now, what do you guys think in the comment section down below? Let me know your thoughts, and this has been your boy Tito Gaming, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.